TeamSpeak's back on, everyone is connected and ready for the next battleground. Inferno will be the map of choice for Order as they look to get themselves a clean 2-0. Or can Encore be the Encore in this series? Can they find that little bit of magic? Starting off on the CT side, the opportunity is there. We'll just have to see if they can convert on it, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, a convincing pistol round could go a long ways to really, I guess, reinvigorating the faith in not only us and watching them, but also in the players themselves right now. I was going to say a couple seconds earlier, maybe that nade would have been fantastic. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do any damage. Instead, it's the USPs that are going to get the work done. Good trades to keep it initially equal, as Hazard then decides to double down, taking an advantage for Encore, leaving it all onto Hats, but a bit of a peek that wasn't all that necessary. And this is given a big chance now to Hats. He's already got 3 kills to his name. He's looking to make it to 4. And this is a clutch that begins to bring some similar feelings to positions that I guess Encore were in back on Ancient as well.
Hats is going to play an off angle here, but he's spotted. Tapping away. He can't quite find the connection, Licky. Thought he had him dead to rights. He spotted the barrel as he rounded the corner, but Licky on Hats, and Hats comes out on top. A big, monstrous, in fact, quad kill coming in from Hats on the pistol to get the job done. And the most worrying thing for Encore is that Order walked right into the trap there, right? You had 2 players long, 2 players under hut on short, and they walked right through it. They demolished you into a 1v2, and then Hats was clean enough to find the conversion. So an early round again for Order. Force Spike comes in at the very least for Encore, but they need to start finding this response early.
Ideally wanted an early pick based off of the scout right there, which would have maybe alleviated a bit of the pressure, but sadly it doesn't come their way. Nades wise, they actually do have some. They have a molly even on towards Hazard, taking a bit of a gamble as well with the 3-man B stack, which looks like it will be necessary considering Order have all 5 players already grouped on Banana, which is a bit uncommon considering the timing in the round. They do just want to try and move directly into B, it seems. And well, an initial kill is not a bad start by any means. A trade on the Savage as well. They might not expect a 3rd player, of course, but they're still taking their caution, I suppose. Molly down a smoke as well, which isn't in a great position, but it does enough alongside the Molly to ensure that nothing can be done to actually stop that bomb plant. And now that it's a 3-on-4, despite the damage, they may just want to consider saving the pistols and the Kevlar.
Encore have set the mood for that. They've not been keen on saving whatsoever, and they want to give this one another go, but with Sicko dealing with Licky, that feels like that may well be a bridge too far, and indeed it will be. Hazard and Apoc just looking to back away from the situation. As you said, hold on to the armor, the dig, 5-7, a little bit of utility behind it as well. A second round on the board for Order, despite, should we say, a wayward charge into that B site. Didn't feel like it was entirely necessary, but they got it over the line regardless.
Yeah, it was a little bit out of nowhere. That's why I was surprised so early in the round. I think there was like still 1:20 when they were grouping at the half wall as well. So they hadn't even taken full Banana control when they had fully decided, I guess, to make the commitment. But I guess it just comes with the confidence with how well they were playing on Ancient. At this point, you're going to be feeling like as long as you move as a unit, as long as you're in position to trade off of each other, that there really is nothing you can do wrong. And that's basically what it was as they moved in towards B. And I'm sure the pistol round kind of brought that feeling out as well, considering Hats was able to pull off such a ridiculous clutch despite them walking into the stacked crossfire. So we'll see. Pistols right now, nothing really to put up a challenge in this round. At least the Mac-10 didn't get too many of those kills. Hats did come in and steal a bit with the AK. So there's some positives to be had. They're not feeding over too much money to the economy of Order, rather. But they are still taking some clean rounds here, or at least this one is going to be clean. The last one was relatively clean as well. So they're going to be in a great position moving into that first gun round. And Encore will just need to come alive, and they'll need to do it convincingly.
So much damage from the USP of Licky, man. He's really unfortunate not to find a kill there. Apoc last up, save 5-7, gets nothing, and as you said, it is a clean round. I thought you were going for the ultimate caster curse there, Dean. That's saying, oh, this round won't be clean, and then hoping that a USP and a 5-7 can somehow pull off the miracle, but
not even just damage, just straight up win. I'm trying to
exactly, just badly. Straight up, the ultimate caster curse, the Eco 2v5, but it wasn't to be. 3 on the board. The rifles will come out for the first time for Encore, not able to get the big green into the hands of Sterling on this occasion. But it will be 5 rifles, good utility, everybody going for the head armor as well, which is important because with those 2 save Mac 10s, if you're looking to skimp and save a little bit, it can come back to bite you. So able to get the full investment into this one, Encore. And this is where we need to start seeing that early response, right? Rifles up on the board. We need to see some rounds starting to swing their way.
Yeah, to bring back the helmet point, there's a couple of Galils as well, so they're even more important in that regard. But the nade damage in the early stages has not made things easy for Licky and APOC. In on mid now, they'll be weakened up a bit when those Mac 10s do move forward. So as you can see, the actual hold is a lot more passive now. Hoping instead to just, I guess, stop any further advancement from coming in. Good damage actually on Liaz. Nice timing on the molly as well. Stop anyone from pushing around for now. The nade's being expended as well. It's running down the utility of that T side, and with this being the bonus round here for Order, Encore obviously need to win it, but ideally they need to do it convincingly as well, because no matter what, Order rather are going to have a really good buy coming into this next round. So Order's main goal is obviously to win the round, but if they can make it close, even if they do end up losing it, then that would be a small victory.
Interesting back and forth here. We saw Encore on the minimap taking banana control, allowing them to post just the solo Licky in towards this portion of the map. But Order have actually retreated initially from mid, tried to draw a rotation back around, and Encore are not biting. They're trusting Licky to solo hold, which will mean 4 defenders ready and in place on this A site as the hit looks to come in, or will it? Savage just starting to think about a rotation, but he's been called back, and that's the right call to make, as now this A hit starts to come in. Sicko with an early kill, but there's plenty of bodies here to deal with the rest. APOC and Hazard combining well, and Lee as well, low HP on that Mac 10. He's doing what he can, but he will finally be put down. 2 players to the good are Encore as they finally get their CT rifles rolling.
Yeah, but it does come down to only the 2 standing. And again, that's kind of enough. A few SMG kills as well coming towards the end to add on to what was already a really good economy for Order coming back into this round either way. So Encore, unfortunately, are left with a bit of a weakness. It's only the 1 MP9, but their nades are not as flawless as they were in that previous round where they all had the full utility, they had the full sets. Instead, Hazard's lacking a little bit, and they maybe were expecting a bit of a weaker buy, perhaps, because I'm not too sure why Hazard's charging straight down mid. It can be a good call sometimes, but it didn't look like he was really expecting anyone to even potentially peek it, so that was strange. An opening kill for Order, some damage on top of that, both over towards Sterling and now Savage on Banana as he peeks into the molly, I believe, and actually burns in the end. This is not going well for Encore.
It's gone from bad to worse. Initial peak, just a misread of the economy, like you said. You have to imagine either not expecting the firepower to be there or expecting more nades from your team. It's got to be one of the two. And now APOC, knowing he's got to get something done, is going to look to aggress. We'll find Liaz, but the trade immediately there, and the trades continue to work out for Order. It's a 2v1 for Sterling. Does do a solid job of holding top B. The problem is, again, that bomb could just back away from the situation. A site wide open for the taking, and Sterling with a big decision to make here as Vino Plant goes down. It's a 1v2. Your team are absolutely broken financially. You've got nothing to work with here. 1 Molotov to get yourself into the site. Do you even want to give this one a go? The bomb already ticking away as you lurk your way round long. Sterling knows he needs an early kill here to even convince them to have a crack at this one. He spots out Sicko, but now his position is known. Pot Flash comes in. That bomb already halfway gone. More utility to follow. He'll be able to molly Sicko out at the very least, but the more time this wastes, the worse it becomes for the rifler. And Sicko has found himself a corner to stick in. Away from the flames, licking at his feet. He'll live on to fight another day. And as the 2-man save works its way into the pit, it's going to be a 4th round on the board for Order. A nice try from Sterling. Manages to save the rifle as well, but just not able to find those initial headshots he desperately needed.
Okay, well, they definitely knew there was a buy from Order anyway, so it wasn't that as I had kind of initially thought, because I was just so confused. He must have been expecting, as you were saying, a molly straight towards the underpass or a nade to go down so that he couldn't be peeked so quickly, but yeah, that's not how it worked out, unfortunately. Instead, now they've got 1 saved over M4 from Sterling, as we know. A couple of pistols being upgraded, but even then they don't bother with Hazard or Licky, so there's not very much at all for a fight even to be put up here. Bit of damage even on Sterling through the smoke, because why not make things slightly harder than they already were? He's going to go for the aggression again, trying to catch the timing around the edge of the smoke. Did get spotted by Sicko, for now somehow still staying alive, but yeah, not really in a healthy condition anymore, and Fortunately, he is the only man with a rifle, of course, so they were counting on him to be able to hopefully pick up a kill in those early stages and put a bit of pressure on Order, make them maybe force some mistakes across the map and allow those pistols perhaps to pick up on them. Sadly, that's not how it's worked out.
Now with the mollies at the feet of Licky, he's forced wide into an awkward fight of his own. Hat gets one more. Sterling at least boosted up, but Inns has read it like a book. Pre-fires him as he rounds the corner. He's trying to play a little bit of trigger discipline there, Sterling, trying to wait for the opportunity. Not given anything whatsoever, and at this point, again, bomb down. This should be a done round, and I would have liked to have seen Hazard trying to get away with that rifle. Not to be, though. APOC last up, P250. Just looking for damage. Just a kill would be great here. Something to write home about, something to make this round worthwhile, but it's not going to happen. 5-1 the scoreline, all 5 players up. The economy blossoming for Order, and this is exactly the situation that we were talking about and getting nervous about in the pre-game, right? Before this map, we were talking about they need momentum, they need some rounds on the board, they need to start feeling their way back into this series. They're 5-1 down already. Order have already got a buy in the bank. This has to work now for Encore. This round has to work, and it has to work cleanly.
Yeah, it really is their last chance to truly crack into the game while they still have a somewhat reasonable score. Charge straight up Banana again. Licky caught in towards the sandbags. His backup mollied off on the corner. Savage, though, does stick around to a degree that he can still be caught off guard, unfortunately. He gets taken down as well. Not only not able to help his teammate, but taken out before he could even delay that push on towards B. In spams Hazard through the smoke, because why the hell not at this stage? Oh. And Liaz catches that lurk over in towards the boiler, so it's all on Sterling, and the chances of him even saving the op right now are not looking fantastic, I've got to say. He's being wrapped on through the spawn as well, so this should be another clean round for Order, even if they lose a player or two at this point. Their economy's already solid, and they've got a 6-1 scoreline, so they wouldn't have really cared. There it is. We kind of stress how important the round is for Encore, and they're not even able to get any damage in.
That really hurts. That really hurts. Just a straight up banana rush, able to isolate the fight. Savage, as you said, hangs around a little too long. A little bit of magic through the smoke from Inns, finds Hazard. And then just to rub salt in the wounds, Liaz is still lurking. He trusts that his 4 players, they're going to take banana. I'm just going to try and find exits, and he gets exactly that. Both of the rifles down. Disastrous, you have to say, for Encore. That was the full commitment, the full buy. They're going to try and get some magic going with the pistols, and well, Sterling does open up. Clean Deagle headshot onto Inns before he's traded away. The problem is, again, the damage, despite losing a man, is really solid. 2 players on very low HP now for that CT side. Can't imagine they'll be getting too much more out of this one as the T's just look to group up and take advantage of that extra firepower. Hat's even making sure that rifle isn't recoverable, chucking it up on the roofs. Making absolutely certain of it. We'll get caught with a nade in hand, though. Hazard still lurking around a little while longer. Finally put to the grave. And again, just about getting out of this one cleanly now for Order. There's a couple players still up towards this A site. Licky and APOC are here. A 5-7 and a P250. An off angle inside of the smoke, potentially to give a rifle away. But Liaz, he's so wise to these tricks. Licky finds one, though. APOC with another. And just as I'm starting to get optimistic, Alistair and Liaz are there to steady the ship and get this one done.
It does seem like they're getting closer on a lot of these pistol rounds than they are in the full gun rounds. There's a few cases of that on Ancient as well. And Savage got what it takes right now to pull off this 1v2. No kit, so he needs to be quick. He does have a smoke, though, which could be useful to maybe isolate one of these angles. Unfortunately, he steps into the one being held by Alistair, who, as we know, has been landing pretty much every shot with that op whenever he gets the chance to. He's been a bit quieter here, but I think that's fair on the T side of Inferno, especially when you have Hats and Inns both popping off in ridiculous form, just picking up entries within seconds of the rounds beginning, usually. And in the case of Inns and that previous one, charging up Banana, just taking the site on his own.
Yeah, it's rough as a T-side AWPer. I'd say Alistair's doing just about everything that could be expected of him, really, isn't he? Hitting his shots when he's given them, trusting his riflers when he's not, and that's put them in a fantastic position here. Already 7-1 up, T-side of Inferno. That is not a bad look whatsoever. A little more of a contest towards Banana this time, at the very least. Licky and Savage trying to deny some control with the utility. Liaz burnt up in towards these apartments as well. The initial damage trade is solid for the CT side. Question is, what more can they get done with it? Because it's cost them a lot of their utility to get this early control. Savage now one smoke, the only smoke over towards this B site. One more left on APOC, but he's tucked deep in towards the pit on A, so there really isn't a whole lot of utility yet left. Savage is going to look to pop flash Licky in here. And it's going to have to be a perfect flash at that as the molly starts to burn away at his feet. Down to 5 HP he goes, and that makes it dangerous. Has to back out, banana control established.
Yeah, I mean, it costs them the nades. It takes a bit of time, but they run down the CT's utility in the process also. And as we, of course, said, managed to do a ton of damage onto Licky, who is, I believe, after rotating himself back around. Yeah, indeed. He's moved his way over towards A, where he can hopefully be a bit more useful. They're expecting a weak player on towards this B bomb site. Instead, they're going to find Savage and Sterling, who have a molly. Okay, that could be a big issue for Order. Ton of damage being done at the very least as they move through, making things so much easier for Savage. Already taken 2. Didn't quite spot that player in towards the CT smoke, unfortunately, and he will somewhat overcommit to the fight there against Inns. But let's see, can his teammates get this one done? No, they cannot. Inns should have smoke manages that kill on Hazard. Couldn't even spot him. Unfortunately, the player tucked in on the tree. That was Sicko. Did give his position away, but it doesn't matter. Inns is looking for the ace. It will be denied, but he's done enough to confirm the round. And he was damn close to getting the last kill as well there. Did get the assist out of it.
That hurts. That really hurts, because as you said, the utility was there, the timings were there. Savage got them a 3v4 again as he went down for 2, did a fantastic job of anchoring the site initially, and then Inns, like you said, just magic, that extra damage that's done, really helping him to tap away at players, continue to find frags, and just deny any opportunity for Encore to get back into that round. It's again the guaranteed lead at the half, and this is sort of where I'd like to see Encore maybe taking a tactical timeout. Starting to slow things down, you know, breaking this game up a little bit, because at the moment, Order, they really do feel like a little bit of a runaway train, and they are not stopping for anything. So we need to see them just use a little bit of that know-how, maybe slow this game down with a pause or two, start to rethink how your CT side is sitting, because right now it's not sitting well at all. 3 quick kills. The pistols demolished over towards the A side. That's a free site to be taken as well. And once again, Licky and Savage, honestly, I'd quite like to see him try and save the armor. It would be something less they need to buy into the next. Licky at least gets a good kill, and that's a rifle. Now I'd really like to see him try and save that one back.
Yeah, could be quite useful in this next round. Obviously, the chances of winning this round, they're very, very slim. They're sticking around, surprisingly. Obviously, the smoke they put down themselves on Moto just to try and get an extra weapon, so that's why Savage is here. But Licky might end up losing his weapon if he isn't careful with that lurker in on mid. So thankfully, he doesn't fully commit to the angle. Yeah, fall back, get yourselves over to B, have 2 rifles in this next round, and hopefully start winning, because 5 rounds at least is what they've got to be aiming for. But if they could get it back towards 6, if they could somehow reverse sweep these 5 rounds, and they could still be in with a shot of turning things around and pulling this game back in the second half, which they need to, as we've mentioned, of course. Already lost out 16-3 back on Ancient, and we're not really seeing any improvements here so far.
Not really seeing much of anything yet. It feels like Encore just haven't had an opportunity to show themselves. Inns again continuing to find impact, 17-7 at this point. ADR off the chain. Just not quite working out for them. Encore, they've tried a few things. Nothing's quite connected. This time it's a 3-man lean over towards Banana early on. APOC charging through the apartments. Will catch the Az off guard. Charges through that molly. Trusts himself to find the connection and does. First time in pretty much this entire map's memory that it's a 5v4 in favor of Encore without a quick trade found in response. So Order for the first time in a long time on the back foot. Looking to try and correct that as the pop flash over the top will blind up both players, but Inns fully melted. Retina's just full white, still able to find the connection. Licky goes down, and that's going to cause some very panicked rotations now. Hazza charging down the speedway, trying to give some support to Savage over on B, but it's Order instead. They look to slow things right down and reset.
Yeah, still working with nearly a minute, so they don't have to rush straight into either of these bomb sites, but it does seem like they've already got their mind set on B, with a bit of a fake being sold around A. That is Sicko. Well, they're hoping to sell it. We'll have to see whether it is going to be believed or not by Encore. Bit of a shot being taken by the Operas. He's taken off his angle. Unfortunately, it doesn't pull the rotations. You've still got Hazard. He has a molly. And well, depending on the timing here, he could stop this push from coming in. Inns was incredibly low health. He was the first man, thankfully, so he beats the molly. And while blind and jumping, I believe, managed to get that kill on Savage somehow. Similar angle to, as you kind of pointed out, as to how he got the entry a couple of rounds back when he was making his way into B. And with that, again, they've just got to call for the save. They'd be crazy to go for the 2-on-4B, retaking their current position. So it'll be an up and an M4 for the next round. But even with the ability to buy, thanks to Savage and Licky having money, it's just already way too far out of hand.
When it rains, it pours. 2 full blind kills in that one. I think it's Inns who gets both as well, if I'm not mistaken. He gets one towards top banana when they swing that. He's full blind. Hats is full blind. He finds the connection. And then the second, you know, you've got Savage flashed in beautifully. He's got an opportunity. He's mollied out, but he's still got a solid chance to get some kills there. And full blind, potentially even jumping, like you said. I think he was either in midair or his tippy toe had just touched the ground. He finds another headshot. Just adding misery to it. We'll see it here. So here's the first. Blinded up. Spray down connects into Licky regardless. That was only a half blind, to be fair. This, that is just disgusting. Crosshair nowhere near, and it's, of course, it's just, yep, the bullets are magnetic. He keeps finding headshots. 10-1. When it rains, it pours, and it is certainly pouring on Encore's parade right now. They can get nothing going.
You just get those games where everything clicks, and I think that's what's happening for Inns right now, because he definitely still had a tiny bit of jumping and accuracy there and helped them while blind to get the kill. Okay, nice shots by Sicko. Just spams the pretty standard angle as if someone's peeking the long side. So not too surprising, I suppose, for Sterling. He does seem a bit caught off guard, and as does Licky. Interesting setup on B, considering Savage is back in the bomb site with no utility to back him up. Normally, you'd only really have someone back there if they're holding a flash. So, yeah, a 5-on-3. Some damage was done in those initial exchanges, but neither player able to actually get the conversion. There's no rush for order either.
Happy just to slow down the approach, knowing they've got some low HP bars. No need to take the risks, as you said. It's the benefit of having this kind of a cushion of rounds as well. There's just zero need to take risks with it. Savage solo in towards this B site. He's going to have a lot headed his way very shortly. 3 players on the corner. Admittedly, 2 of them are low HP here as they make it a 4th. And Apoc has dealt with the lurk, but Inns, everything. Everything he takes, every swing, every peek, it's just connecting right now. You're right. Sometimes you do have these magic games, and Inns is on one of them. Another clean headshot. Another clean round as well, as Encore will look to save. Apoc and Hazza need these rifles, and they know it. Alistair is already thinking about the hunt, but tagged down. Will start to rethink his plans as he heads for the relative safety of the B-bomb site with C4 already ready to go off on it.
It's the trend now, the 2-man save that they seem to have to go for every round. Apoc's getting his turn to save over a weapon this time. We'll get the first kill. Sicko shouldn't throw his op away, but the player coming through Arch might get the drop on him. I mean, they have so much money that they can just go for it if they want to, despite the health first. Okay, Hazard catches one, so I think they'll live now. I should do it for them. There we go. 2 weapons again carried over. This is the spam, obviously, that kicked the round off from Sicko. That's, as I said, catching a player who was in a kind of strange position, staying so aggressive on the corner. I guess he was expecting to have more than enough time to back off as soon as he got a spot on the corner, but whatever shoulder peek angle he was playing, the timing didn't work out for him, and he must have missed the initial kind of pass of the half wall. It's 11-1. This is ridiculous. I thought we'd... Normally, sure, you can get those really one-sided first maps, and you don't maybe even expect the second map to be closer, but usually it ends up being a little bit closer anyway. Sadly, this doesn't seem to be one of those cases.
And here's my question to you, Dean. Oh, okay, we'll ignore that for a moment, as Licky has managed to open up Banana. Response is there for Inns, but the trades will come in favour of Encore.
Killed the god.
First time in a while. They may well have a chance at it. As you said, they've managed to find themselves the man advantage. Banana control established as well should allow them to cheat that rotation over towards the A site. They've actually got the health advantage as well with 4 players up. They're in a really solid position here, Encore. Bracket control will be conceded at the very least, but Hazza has managed to make his rotation in. Savage still locking down Banana. Smoke will go in towards the library. It is going to be this A site hit, and if they can just hit their shots cleanly now, this should be a done deal. Sicko, nice flash. Will isolate Hazard, pushes him back a little further, allows his teammates to start working their way up short, but they are still a long way from home. 45 seconds left, 2 smokes, a handful of flashes. They're committed to this A site take at the moment. 3 players all in short, but nobody's given them the peak they want. Holding and waiting for someone to get fidgety. But nobody on that CT side is biting, and that's allowing for the reinforcements. APOC in towards the pit, waiting for exactly this swing. Alistair will try and set his teammates up with a little bit of utility. Pop smoke, flash goes over the top. APOC has to turn it. Sicko gets the first. Sterling dropped inside of the site. I don't know if that was heard though. Nobody looking for it yet. And with 12 seconds left, if he can deny this plant, it would be everything. Bomb transferring to the site. They know there's someone in here, but they got to get that bomb down. 7 seconds. He's just buying time. Savage comes in and Sterling will convert. A second round on the board for Encore. A desperately needed one at that. And they need a lot more where that came from, because the buys are just going to keep on coming from Order.
Yeah, but they're going to need, as you said, a lot more. At least manage to keep the 3 players standing, which is always the bare minimum that you want when you're only just cracking your way into life on that CT side, picking up your first round. It lets them get everything in this round, so there's no weaknesses at least. And obviously Order have their money for the final 2. If they can take even one more, put themselves at 12, then they'll be sitting pretty no matter what. APOC, he wasn't even blind. I'm very surprised he didn't turn and react to those players up close. But it's going to be Savage instead who gets away with the triple. A hat-trick, a fall back straight onto B-bomb site, and an advantage that Encore can sit with, which is not really a position they've been presented with for this entire half. So they're going to be feeling really good about this current position. And maybe they could still be on track for an 11-4 half, which, with a pistol round in the second half, could suddenly bring them to life.
It's not over till the fat lady sings, and Encore are playing to the very death of this one. A little bit of magic on Banana from Savage. We said he had moments of it on that first map of Ancient, just never quite able to string them together at the right time. Now he's finding his feet. Utility counter starts to come in from the CT side. That molly not quite landing in the right spot, though, will allow them to start creeping their way through. Again, they know where Savage likes to play. Problem is, without a Molotov to isolate him, without the firepower to really lock it down, what do? They're trying to creep their way into the site itself, but Alistair is caught on the cross, and now Savage starts to work his way out of the angle. A quad kill in the round, a third on the board, and as you said, an opportunity at 11-4 potentially if they can convert the last to start dreaming a dream of Dust 2.
Yeah, they've got to really use whatever glimmer of hope that they can find right now to drive the comeback, and well, a play like that from Savage has got to be some sort of inspiration, hopefully, for the rest of the team to start getting it together. We get the pause in from Order.
My head hurts.
11-3, and they're still like, yeah, we'll take the tack pause. We may as well. We've 1 round left in the half. Maximize their chances of taking it. I love the approach. We do not get this approach most of the time.
We do not. I've been screaming for an Encore pause for about 10 rounds.
And then it's Order who bring it in, yeah.
It's Order who take the first pause of the game.
And Encore probably just stopped speaking out of respect.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts, but we'll have to see if Encore can use the timeout wisely themselves and start to build.
Don't they? Or when it's a tactical pause, they can speak, can't they? It's only technicals that they can't, yeah.
Yeah, technicals are the awkward ones. We're back on
LAN, of course, now.
Here we go again. Sterling this time aggressive through the apartments. Liaz ready for it though. We saw APOC try it. This time is Orpa goes to the flame and gets burnt. Liaz doubles it. And now Hazard alone on this A site has got a hell of a lot of work to do. He'll find the first, but he's being charged down from the apartments. And if they can find this kill, the A site's wide open for the taking. Liaz doesn't even have to commit if he doesn't want to. Low on HP, he'll go down, but they'll keep charging in. And I think Alistair has finally realised what situation they found themselves in. The B site is wide open for the taking. Licky late on the rotate, low on HP, but clean on the headshot regardless. Has bought his teammates a 2-on-2 and has bought them a massive lifeline as well.
What's the smoke actually deep towards the bomb site, I think, around the stairs. Interesting approach. Molly as well, so that no one can actually peek close, but they might go above on oranges. Yeah, I'm not sure if this has exactly worked in his favor. Commitment still coming in towards B. Doesn't get the confirmation that it's coming either, so that rotation is miles away. And then As Licky falls with pretty much zero resistance, Savage's chances are not great. He's got full nades though. He's got full health, and obviously he's got to go for it because it is the final round of the half, and he's going to be shut down before there is any hope at all to be built up. A 12-3 half yet again. This time the round's a bit more separated for Encore, but they'll need to start chaining them together in this second half, and we'll have to wait and find out to see if they can do that. Stick with us, guys. We'll be back soon.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
All right, we are back, and we're looking at a very similar result to map number 1, unless Encore can just pull a miracle out of nowhere, basically, Wolfie. I don't know what other way to put it at this point, because it seems like that's what they're going to need if they want to try and even make this competitive at this stage, yet alone pull it back into a series they can win.
It is going to need a miracle. You are absolutely right. There really is nothing more to it than that. 12-3 down. Pistol round, a necessity at this point if they want to start their T side. If they even want to get a chance at a T side here. Liaz picks up twice as many guns to give his team 6 guns against 5. And Hats, well, he goes charging into second mid. He's got support of Alistair, and he's the one who actually finds the initial headshot. That's bombed down as well as an early kill is found. And the perk of that aggression is Order can just back away from it. They know they've got the man up. No need to stay. No need to keep committing. Force the T side to now clear all of that map control back. Not finding anyone at all before they start to finally realize that they can work out and execute.
Oh, the timing on that nade, unfortunately not great for Inns. Doesn't even land any damage and just leaves him completely open. Although Sterling will try and commit a little bit too hastily off the back of it, leaving him then set up for the trade, of course, from Liaz. So it is the man advantage for Order yet again. Mid control at the very least being taken, as Order don't want to stay too aggressive. And well, with that, they're going to have 2 players set up in on this bomb site itself. They have a third man from Moto who plays initial contact, taking the first kill. and keeping a lot of the attention then as well, allowing Alistair on that bomb site to help out and take out Savage. 13-3. I mean, you see some hope within the rounds for Encore, but Order just piece it all together so well.
It's feeling very similar to Ancient, isn't it? You see these isolated moments, these half chances, but there's never a conversion. There's never a box ticked where you go, yeah, that's how they're going to get it done. That's where they find their man advantage. It's always an Order have managed to wrestle it back before it's got too concerning. Encore have to take the full force buy without the bomb going down. It's pistols rather than the SMGs and rifles that are normally afforded a T-side. Handful of techs, Deeg in the hands of Sterling. Need of some magic here. Utility early on will start to lock out that banana control, and now the T-side look to go on the charge. MP9s against Tech 9s, and it's a nice little trade at least. Licky again, we spoke about it on the previous map, able to find a little bit of magic on that Tech, and Hazza able to find some of his own. That's the B site now completely open for the taking. Liaz on a panicked rotation in will find chip damage, but nothing more on the cross, and that should as well allow that bomb to start going down now. HE over the top will do some good work, and Liaz has found that will convert to keep it even in the 3-on-3.
Still some hope, of course, but we'll have to see exactly now. Order need to get a move on, actually. They've got a few smokes, so they can, I believe, block off Banana. They'll have another one then towards the bomb if they want to do so. Flashes go in. Banana push, I believe, about to come forward. Oh, that smoke. Never mind the dink on the player in the pit. He just hooks in. Decided he was going to act as bait, hoping his teammates could get it cleaned up, but no. It's going to be caught then from that Banana player, and I believe it was the quad player who just pops out with a deagle and snatches up the last headshot. Very, very quick fight indeed coming true, and Encore managed to find a lifeline. This is where we've seen them find a lot more of their success, surprisingly. I mean, a lot of the closer rounds even that they were getting back on Ancient and such was on those pistols, and we've seen them win out the force buy to kind of find their one stretch of rounds that they had found on Ancient. So hopefully now they can chain something together off the back of that, overcome this force buy, then it's an eco, they get themselves up towards 6 rounds, win that first gun round, and suddenly it starts looking just a little bit doable.
There's opportunity. Always a chance. Boost up. Licky's expecting it as well. Ducks down. Make sure he's not visible as the Banana control is to be contested. Chip damage exchanged, but favoring the T side again, as this time the Deagle will get another boost up onto the ledge. Top Banana control has to be conceded, though, again, without the utility, nothing really that this CT side can do about it. Liaz hoping for a connection, but again, none is found. And this is looking better for Encore. They've got the top Banana control. They've got the control in towards Bracket. Dinks on the drive-by from Inns. A ton of damage. But Sterling still able to put him down. And with hats on the deal, that damage feels like it may not matter so much. Queuing up towards top Banana. The smoke's suggesting a hit, but they're actually going to double back off of it, Encore, knowing that they'll have drawn the rotation, knowing they've got the firepower advantage. I like this call. They're starting to change it up, and Sicko is going to be in a lot of trouble under porch. He's got apartments players to deal with. He's got 3 coming out mid. There is low HP bars, not that it matters. Licky finds the shot regardless, and that should be the round.
Yeah, looking all but confirmed at this point. I mean, the chance was there for the low health player to be finished off on the initial push out mid. Then maybe some headshots land, but sadly a little bit off on the aim there for Sicko. Trying, I guess, to just see if they can hold out here, perhaps carry over the Deagles, but open more so, I think, for some exits in the meantime if anyone hunts them down, because they are fairly actively peaking. Just avoid giving the money to the SMGs if possible. But either way, it's 5th round for Encore. As we mentioned, the 6th should likely come with it. It's a package deal. And with them doing it, keeping it clean here as well, this is ideal because they need to build up an economy, because if they were ever put into a position where they had the eco, the game would be over.
Need to build it up. Need to keep it flowing. Nice response from Encore, just starting to find their feet a little bit. Despite the damage done, they get the conversion on the board. As you said, package deals, 6th round almost guaranteed to come with it. Just 2 Deagles stand between them and it. A little bit of a bonus round as well for them. Sterling able to farm up some cash on that MP9. The same for APOC on the Mac 10, potentially get some more rifles in the hands. Continue to work your way through this one. It is going to be a fast play towards top Banana. A ton of utility committed to it. There is a heavy stack here. 4 players for the CT side, lying in wait over towards this B site. The two Deagles in position to try and find something, and it's Alistair who opens things up. Clean headshot for one, doubles it, and Licky, well, whilst he finds one, needs to continue to deal with them because Alistair is continuing to chip them down. Licky will find the second, and now it's Liaz on the high ground on that Deagle to find one more, and 2-on-2, they're keeping it competitive, the CT side. Liaz goes for the miracle and finds it, the spam down on the Deagle. Two clean headshots, and it's Order who pull off the impossible. We said it was a package deal, Dean. It's a free round, we said. There's only two Deagles, we said. And well, it's the Deagles who get it all done. A 14th on the board, and it's disaster for Encore.
Ooh, that sale must have been yesterday. Sorry. Got it wrong. Oh, that is rough. I mean, it took them so long to deal with Alistair and the other player in the back corner as well. And that's what allowed for that rotation to come in, for Liaz to be in position and ready to come out with a 3K of his own on top of the initial two fantastic entries from Alistair. Just what a round. Alistair's been pretty quiet as well until that he was actually the bottom fragger. He was down on 8 kills. Partly because he was up on the D side and was just chilling at the back of the pack most of the time, and his teammates have just been finding so much success that it's limited to go around. He gave it a big push on map number 1, but when he's really needed, as we just seen, he will step up. Rushing down Banana though, a little bit of a change up from Order, wanting to impose their, I suppose, pace of play. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for them right now. Hats gets dropped, Ins for the moment sticking around on Banana, but he should be falling back pretty soon. Hoping to just at this point keep a standard 2-2 split towards both of these bomb sites, but it's a really good advantage here for Encore to work off of.
And they're going to work their way around this corner as well. In solo, got a lot to do. Finds the first. Low HP. Licky will convert, however. And now again, it's Liaz solo in towards this B site. The weight of the world on his shoulders. As the hit looks to come in, the smokes will give the game away somewhat. Sicko a little slow on the rotate, though. The way they've slowed this down, cut the sound cues out, is convincing the CT side. There may yet be another chapter to this. Licky now tagged up, should give the game away. The site overwhelmed, and Liaz, what have you got for us? One looks for the planter and doubles it, and all of a sudden it's falling apart once more. Sterling still in towards the pool, but he's isolated now. The CT smoke has faded, and Liaz continues to wreak havoc. It's Savage on his own. He's got two clean headshots, but Alistair will put him down. He wanted the magic moment again, but it's just missing that finishing touch. It's 15. It's Order on series point, and it's the economy in the gutter for Encore. They'll get the pistols, but it's not going to be much more than that to defend it, Dean. This is disastrous.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's been slightly more competitive than Ancient, but that doesn't make a difference. Unfortunately, we were hoping, like, I mean, if it's the first map and you're able to at least make things competitive, you can build off of it if there's hope. If this was the first map right now, for example, the fact that we've seen some decent round from Encores, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we can still look at them perhaps having a chance going forward, but obviously they're done and dusted at this point. And this is the better of the two performances that they've given within this series so far. Fortunately for them, it won't be the end of the road. It's not the start they would have hoped for up against their fellow countrymen. Liaz with an opening kill. They're going in for this banana control again as they did in that previous round. This time, though, a little bit more success has been found in the early stages. Although they've only got 2 players on A as this push is about to come in.
It's a little awkward. They're taking the banana control right as the pop looks to come out of bracket. Savage trades 1 for 1, and again, it's an isolated fight. This time it's Alistair trying to hide as deep in towards this A site as he can. The cavalry is coming, but APOC over the top of the smoke has found the freebie, and there's guns to be recovered now. There's bits and bobs to be salvaged. Savage looks to get that down on a default planter with 2 MP9s on this retake. There is room for another chapter to be written in this series. Yes, Sterling, the first to be faced, does well, cleans up his kill, and now with 2 players queued here, it should be relatively easy sailing. That MP9 of Ins is walking into a storm, and there's nothing he can do about it. Liaz lost up. He's trying to bait the peaks. He's trying to get somebody to give him something to shoot at. APOC finally will get his head plucked off, but the bomb is so far ticked. There's no smoke to work with, and Savage will put his man down. It's the 6th. And Encore, taking advantage of some slightly slow rotations, will keep themselves alive in this series.
6th round being found. You said Savage's dad is behind them, is it?
I believe he is. He certainly has been historically. He's their manager at the moment. They don't have a coach as far as I'm aware.
It's really cool. Would be nice to see them have some success, just to know that that he has his dad behind him while it's happening, but unfortunately it's not happening here in this first game. He's had a few moments though, I do have to say, Savage himself. Definitely has some individual talent, as do all of the players really on Encore. It's just not currently matching up to what Order are given. Right now, though, there shouldn't be too much of a challenge. The one rifle, some pistols, that's all that they're up against. An opening kill already from that MAC-10 over towards Banana. They should be able to fight their way towards the 7th round, but it's got to be flawless. No mistakes at all can be made throughout this D side if they want to make the comeback happen. We know that's going to be a tough one. I think they're thinking about flashing through the smoke right now. It's only a USP, sadly. If he had a better pistol, and, well, if he hadn't gotten spammed up just as he was going through the smoke, then perhaps there would have been some hope.
Nothing to be found, though, and with Bracket being taken, I think Encore are very quickly going to realise what's up. Should be a relatively clean one at that. So 7th round, opportunity to stabilise, start to build. Obviously, at this point, you're dreaming of OT at the best, but it's still viable. It's still a possibility. That CT side economy is a cruel mistress, and there will be limited buys available for Order to shut it down. Another moment in this grudge match. Another chance for Encore to show us that they are made of something. It's made of sterner stuff as they do get their 7th round ticking through. The bomb goes down. It will be collected, and this is where I think Order perhaps showing that experience a little more. These are the kind of rounds where we saw Encore throw in the kitchen sink at it when they had like 2 pistols or 2 pistols and a rifle and armor. This time Order immediately, just straight away calling, yeah, we're going to try and save it. Admittedly, they're going to be hunted down hard here, and Hazard will start to take the pistols away, but the intent at least is solid as Alistair takes the dink down to 29 HP. He's stuck behind these new boxes. Needs the support of that Deagle. Hazard on low HP will be the first to fall, but there's plenty more where that came from. And Liaz, under pressure in towards those coffins, is going to be able to double his account, actually. And this is starting to get a little sketch now for that T side. Alistair, desperate to hold on to the rifle, will be allowed to do so as they lose a couple on the Encore side of things as well. Eco to follow, so that rifle really is going to be the only bite to match the bark, and Encore will have another opportunity. You know, we talk about these package deals of rounds, Dean, and they're going to look for one here.
Don't want to say anything just in case. But yeah, the 1M4 again. The previous time I jinxed it, they had some pistols and no rifle, but this time there's no real backup for the M4, unfortunately, since it is only USPs. Leah's on 1 health, just about makes it out of the apartments. Might be able to catch APOC. I just don't think he'll get enough bullets off, unfortunately, if you could only see the legs to actually come away with the kill. Although APOC was low, he actually got out thankfully in time. To join his teammates who have walked into B. They're going to get the bomb down. A few exits is going to be the goal for Order. And hopefully a saved M4, I guess. They might even be able to steal that AK. They've got him trapped in on ramp, so.
It's a ratty little angle, though. I don't think Alistair's really going to be expecting it. No, he won't. And that's a double whammy, because it's the low HP player who finds the kill, and it's also one of those rifles, well, the only rifle that Order had going down. APOC will tuck himself away, make himself as difficult to find as possible. Finds more damage. Sicko goes. Yes, it's a nice idea. It's a nice play, but on 1 HP, stray bullet does for him. And an 8th round on the board. Something to write home about as Encore. Just continuing to clean up these remaining pistols, making light work of them. All 5 rifles kept up as well, which if they are going to make a run for OT, if they're going to make a run to make this a reality, is going to be very important.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one that could potentially take Encore up to double digits, and at that point then it's maybe only 2-3 gun rounds that actually stands between them, so it's getting doable. Free over towards Banana for Order, probably going to see some aggression, or at the very least, no, I think he was just bringing his nades over to drop them. Yeah, that seemed to be the goal for Liaz, making sure that they have those backup smokes, and maybe a molly I think he probably dropped. Either way, they do put the nades down on Banana itself. It's not going to really deter Encore because they're working towards A already in the early stages. Maybe expecting that 3-man Banana play which isn't in play at all. Instead, the boost up on quad, the crossfire between long and under quad then as well. This is going to be tough for Encore as they push out. Never mind, Sicko gets 4 of them. It's not even the crossfire that gets it done. It's basically a job. And with that, the 16-8 victory comes in. I mean, retro rounds, you start to believe in it for Encore there, but it all ends in just a matter of a few seconds.